fast forward, 12 weeks into my externship, I was pregnant, fully pregnant with my son by this point. I ended up going into labor my last day of my externship. And that kind of scared me because I was like, I went this far and this is my last day and I need these hours. And I might not get these hours because I'm going into labor, but I had to think about my son first. My son came first in this situation. So I had to miss my last day of my externship. But luckily, my externship site understood my situation. They understood that I worked so hard to get where I was that they wrote off my hours for me. They said I had been there every day since that. Those 5 hours for that last day, I earned them. So my hours were written off. I had my son, September 1st, 2017. Had my beautiful baby boy. And then after that, it was like I was I was in my career field. I was excited. I was very excited. I'm in my career field. I made it through. Right after having my son, I went to start applying for places. Being fresh out of school, a lot of places do not want to hire you. They want people that have been in the field for 2 years, 3 years. They know what they're doing because, like, I'm saying, you're in people's mouths. You're playing a key role in restoring people's smiles and restoring people's confidence. And it's healthcare. So people's healths are in your hand. So a lot of people didn't want to hire me. A lot of people wanted to pay me really low. So when I first went into the field, I got a lot of offers for, like, paying me very, very low. And I declined a lot of them because I knew my worth. I knew my work ethic. I knew what I was worth. So I had to advertise what I was worth. Early on in my interview process, I didn't understand my worth. You know what I mean? I felt as though I was only worth what they were telling me I was worth. But later on in the process, after talking to my professor of my school at Allstate, she was like a big part of me finishing because during that time I was trying to quit. I was going to quit school. I was going to, go work because I didn't have any money because I was going to school full time and I had a son on the way. So it was getting to a point where I was contemplating quitting school and going back to work. And she definitely told me, no, you're going to finish. Like, you worked too hard. I watched you work too hard to throw it all away. So I ended up finishing. In the same sense, she's like, you need to know your worth. You need not to settle for anything, no matter your experience. You know what you're capable of. So going into the dental field, my final interview that ended up being my permanent job, I let them know, I'm like, I know what I can do. I just need a way to show you guys. And then you from then on can tell me if I'm worth as much as I think I'm worth. So we did a work interview for 2 days straight and they basically loved me. After that, I got into the field of being an FDA at a place called Dental Dreams, and I fell in love with dentistry. A lot of the dentists there, we built connections. About three of the dentists, one was Dr. Kim, one was Dr. Chang, and another was Dr. Omar. They basically was telling me anything I needed to know. I'm a big question asker. I asked a lot of questions, and they made sure that they were able to answer all my questions for me. And I really appreciated that. To this day, I still have, Dr. Kim's number. I check in with her. She checks in with me. During that time at Dental Dreams, I used to, I used to prep up the rooms. I set up the rooms. I used to get the patients ready for the doctor. I used to, talk to the patients, warm them up, take their x-rays and everything before the doctor. So I was the first contact that all the patients had before the actual procedures. So every time I would like set up anything or answer a question somebody had for me, their first thing were like, are you the doctor? Like, what are you? So I would tell them, my job title, and they would be like, well, you seem like you are a doctor. Like, I think you should go be a dentist. Like, you sound like you know what you're talking about. Me being an assistant, me doing what I was doing in there, I knew what I was doing, and confidently I projected knowing what I was doing. So patients caught on to that. So I promise you daily I was getting asked, like, are you the dentist? Like, do you want to be a dentist? Like, and then I started talking to the doctor, Dr. Kim, about it. I'm like, I keep getting this. Is this like a sign? Like, should I really go for dentistry? Like, what do you think? She was like, do whatever you feel as though you should do. If that is your calling, then you do it. She was like, don't let no circumstances stop you. She was like, you might feel as though you wasted time or you have so much on your plate, but if that's what you want to do, you're going to be able to do it regardless of your situation. So after a year of being an FDA, I ended up enrolling into Community College of Philadelphia to pursue my bachelor's degree. So I'm starting off at CCP for my first 2 years in biology to major in biology. And then I want to later on transfer to Temple University to pursue my bachelor's degree in biology. From then, from that time, I want to go and apply for dental school to be a dentist. I fell in love with dentistry while working in dentistry. And then it got to a point where I was feeling like I was being teased. Like, I knew exactly what was on the radiographs. I knew exactly what was going on in your mouth before you knew it. I knew exactly what was going on from your symptoms when you told me before the doctor came in. But I physically could not say what was going on with you. I physically could not diagnose you because that's not in my job title. I didn't have the credentials to do so. And it was like a taunt to me. It was like, I know everything, but I can't say anything. And that's when I knew for a fact I need to go do more because I wanted to what? Be more. As I said before, I needed to do more to be more. And that's exactly what happened. So I enrolled to CCP. I got everything situated with my schedule, and I went full force. My first semester, I ended up taking English 101, fundamentals writing, and algebra 1. Like I said, in high school, I didn't really pay attention. I didn't grasp anything. So I had to start from the beginning at CCP, which wasn't bad because it humbled me. It humbled me because I knew for a fact I didn't retain anything when I was in high school about math or reading. So it made me actually learn. So since being at CCP, I've been learning so much. I've been so grateful for my professors for their patience with me and their work ethic with me. I've come across some very good professors that actually know what they're doing and are actually teaching me. And this is my second semester at CCP, and I'm very confident about my journey. Sometimes I really do get overwhelmed, and things I've been learning to do while I get overwhelmed is, definitely think about the bigger picture. Think about how far I've come. Think about my perseverance this far. Like, I've been through so much, I've done so much not to go where I want to be. You know what I mean? Like I said, growing up, I watched my mom struggle. I watched her settle. And I don't want my son to watch me struggle. I don't want my son to watch me settle. So during his adolescent years, I want to make sure I grind as hard as I can. I want to make sure I do all I can. So he won't notice me not being there. He won't notice the struggle until when he looks up at 8 years old, when I'm in dental school or graduating hopefully dental school, I am a dentist, and he can be proud of his mom, and he can say, that's my mom. Like, my mom is a dentist. Like, she tried her hardest, and I can't wait to tell my son my story. So at the end of the day, I feel like everything I'm doing right now is very, very worth it. No matter how hard I get, sometimes I cry, sometimes I want to give up, but then I look at my son, and my son is my motivation. My son is the biggest reason I do everything I'm doing. My son, through after school, was the only reason I finished school. Usually I would start things and not finish, and that's what I was getting in the habit of doing. But once my son came along, I felt a purpose. I felt like I had to finish things. I felt like I had to, be more. And I just hope that radiates onto him. And I hope that he takes everything that I tell him and all my experiences, and he does more and bees more and is more than I am.